You said your best friend is a guy, and
Yes.
we've been friends for 16 years, and you think that, you disagree that it's not possible to be best friends with a straight guy.
Yeah, because me and my friend Corey, like, we've been friends literally since we were 14. We've never once kissed. We don't even hug each other. We think it's, I don't want to say the word, but we think it's, like, gross to even hug each other. We hugged each other one time in our whole friendship, and that was when we were on Fear Factor, and we moved on to the next round. We were excited.
Oh, you were on Fear Factor.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
When I was 23.
Wait, and does he have a girlfriend?
No, he doesn't.
All right, I don't know if you're down to try this out. Would you be willing to text him right now and be like, "Hey, listen, I've been
thinking about you."
We can figure out the precise way to actually.
That's fine.
But I think I've got feelings for you. Do you feel the same way?
What
What was the thing, Maddie? What was the way that we figured this? What was the best phrasing for this question?
So complicated. We just told a girl to text him and be like, "Oh, like, do you want to hang out and snuggle?"
That'd be
Have
fucking
you ever
disgusting.
thought about being more? Would you be down?
Yeah, I see him as my brother. He's my brother.
Would you be down to text him?
I can.
Does he know you're on here though?
He does.
Oh, we'll
Maybe
see.
he's not
But
watching.
he's not watching.
Hi.
But
Should we
if he
test it out?
knows,
Yeah, test it out.
He might know though.
yeah, if he knows that you're coming on
I
here,
c- no, it's the blue
All right, we'll
one.
do it. We're gonna do this test.
The blue iPhone with my dog on the screen. Yep, that one.
This is a great idea.
But let me ask you. So while Nick is getting the phone and while we get this text sent out, here I'll pass this down there. So what's the text before you send it? What's precisely the message that we're having her send out?
She has to make it sound like her.
What was it, Nick?
Have you ever thought about being more than just friends?
That's good. I think that's good.
That's chill.
Yeah.
Just keep it
Have
simple.
you ever thought about being more than just friends?
Have
I feel like if you guys, once you get a
random?
relationship going though, or he gets a girlfriend, things are gonna change. The dynamic will change.
No,
like,
yeah.
So right now, I may feel like it's
It's-
possible to be friends, but because I had the same situation, I had two guys that I grew up with all the way for like 16 years, but then now they're both married, and it's naturally there's that separation, there's that respect that happens. But up until they were for real dating, like, yeah, we were super close and it was like, oh, we're gonna be friends forever. But that just doesn't really happen in like a marriage, I personally believe.
Yeah, it's just been 16 years, and you would think within those 16 years something would have happened. Some fondling, something.
But I
Nothing
feel like
ever
you guys
happened.
aren't in a
we were
committed.
last
You guys
time
aren't in a
we spoke to him.
committed relationship.
We're
either
best
of
friends.
you.
I talked to him
Oh,
every day.
so
No, but you're not in a marriage,
Yeah.
or
Just-
he's
Are
not.
you in a
Just for a
committed?
second.
You're not in
Just to see how it
committed
feels.
in relationship with anyone.
Just
No,
Never
but I've been in 2 relationships, and he was there for me when those didn't work out. Like, it was never anything like that.
Hell.
No,
Oh,
he's
Sharon-
attracted to
Sharon
white
brought
girls.
this out
He
here.
likes white girls and Asians. I'm neither.
Oh.
So
Wait, you're-
Yeah,
I know
I
this
thought-
is.
I'm black. I know.
Oh
It's crazy.
shit! What the fuck? Okay.
But see,
So,
I
you want me to, like, this?
I understand you
Yeah,
because
we
I
thought
have had a
Uh-huh.
best friend who we were really close for 8 years. He got a girlfriend. His girlfriend wasn't. But so, like, I'm not the type
Yeah.
of friend who I'm gonna
She
insert
sent it.
myself in his relationship. Like, I'm the type
Yeah,
of friend,
yeah.
like, I already know, like, hey, if I'm the girlfriend, I wouldn't like if my boyfriend is hanging out with her, so I would never put my friend in that. So we actually distance ourselves. He knows he can text me for anything, but as of now, I know that she's his best friend.
Oh,
Like,
no, I
I would
agree.
never be like, oh, well, I'm still his best friend, because no, you
No,
know,
I
at
agree
the end of the
100%.
day, you're with someone that's your best.
So I
Yeah,
got
what-
a question though. Let's say you meet the top G. You meet a top G.
Oh, Jesus.
A top G.
Andrew?
Yeah, sure.
Andrew Taylor good. I'm
There's
not
a
gonna lie.
difference.
A top
Hey,
G.
these aren't real
You
top
meet the
Gs.
top G. You're like, this is the one. This is the guy I want to marry. I want to have
I'm
kids.
dropping everyone.
Are we talking about you?
You. I'm not even
No,
talking
me.
to you.
You're talking to me.
I'm talking to her. So you do have this male best friend. You guys have been friends for 16 years. If the right man steps to you, let's say, do you have a celebrity crush? Michael B. Jordan?
No. I'm
Michael
sorry.
B. Jordan?
I don't know. Who's like
I used to, okay, I'll just say The Rock.
The Rock?
Okay.
Okay, The Rock steps to you.
I don't like his mentality, but yeah, The Rock.
Wait, you don't like
physically.
The Rock's mentality?
Yeah,
Wait,
he-
what?
I don't-
If
I
he
don't
kept
like-
his
I
mouth.
What
don't
about
like how-
Bumsfeld? Wait, what's his name? The bodybuilder?
Who's that?
What's his name?
Bums.
Bumsfeld.
No.
Fuck. Bumstead. Chris Bumstead. You know you don't know the bodybuilder? Okay,
It's
so
someone you just really are down for.
So The Rock?
Yeah, just because of physically, he looks
Like The
fantastic.
Rock.
That's my type.
The Rock is your.
Have you seen his pictures, like, back in the day? With his
No.
turtleneck and his tucked in
Oh
shirt?
yeah, yes.
Oh,
And
that's
his
funny.
fanny
That's
pack?
funny. That's funny. Wait, so okay, your celebrity crush steps to you, and you've been dating. He just wants you to not be friends with this guy anymore. Do you do the friend breakup, or do you? What
Yeah,
do you
Corey's
do?
not going anywhere.
So your
No,
your
I-
dream
so-
guy, your dream guy,
Mm-hmm.
he's perfect in every way except that he doesn't want you to be have a male best friend.
That wouldn't make any sense because he could talk to him, he could FaceTime him, he's gonna know who Corey is. When I've been in relationships, whenever I had arguments with my man, Corey had nothing to do with that. I didn't go bitch to Corey about it. He didn't come to me and say, "Oh, you should break up with him." He never interfered in the relationship ever.
But
Well,
he's
it's
saying
not-
like in this
so
scenario.
It's
Well,
not.
well, I
it's
never
not
get with the
what.
celebrity
It's
in the
not
first place.
what your male friend is doing. Let's assume your male friend is everything's above board. There's absolutely
Mm-hmm.
no, at least on your part, there's no concerns there.
Mm-hmm.
He's not acted in a way that would give your potential mate any concern whatsoever. But it still is his desire for you to not have this male friend. Do you pick the male friend
like
or do you
ever
pick
in
the
my
man?
life, like ever again.
Yeah, sure. Including your male friend of 16 years that you do have.
Yeah, that's the only one.
Yeah.
If I'm being honest, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not giving up that friendship because he knows
Good.
things about me that like we've experienced a lot together. Nothing sexual. We were never close like that. We don't sleep in the same bed. Nothing like that. It's never been like that. It's literally just been a bro
How old are you again?
relationship. I'm 30. We've been together. Not
Wait.
together. We've been friends since we were 14.
I think that's.
Nothing
worth-
has
I
ever-
think that
30,
relationship is
31?
worth keeping.
Yeah,
It's called a
my
ride
dad
or
even
die.
told me, don't ever get rid of a friend like that because he's a really good friend. Like, it's,
Could you
he's
see
not someone I'd
him
ever get rid
in
of.
a different light?
Ew, no, no.
And especially because you guys have
fuck
that. What is there to be jealous about?
No,
Just
yeah,
'cause he
he's-
has a penis?
No,
I
yeah,
mean,
he's
come
not my
on.
type. I'm not his
That makes
type. It would
sense.
just never happen.
I think it would more just
I think it's a
naturally
beautiful
fizzle
relationship.
out
So-
if you really are all in with your husband.
Yeah.
He will
No,
become
yeah.
your
Then
best
would your
friend.
girlfriend
and then,
like,
fizzle
there's
out?
only
That
so
doesn't
much
make
time and
sense.
energy that you have anyways. It's like you're gonna
Like,
have kids, you're gonna have a home. It's
Yeah.
like naturally things are just gonna.
My attention's gonna go to them, not to Corey. That sounds dumb.
yeah.
Like
What-
if
what-
my man had a girl that was a friend to him, and they've never done anything sexual, I would not care.
Right, but
she
what
needs to know
if
her
the guy?
place.
What if the guy that you're interested in, your dream guy,
Yeah.
he does care, and he's not listening to your justifications or your rationale or your reasoning. For him, it's just an outright deal breaker. Your dream guy steps to you, everything that you want in looks, personality, his success, his income, whatever. Let's go to the extreme. He's a billionaire, massive peen.
Oh my god, that's a myth.
Not every
That's
girl
a
wants
myth.
Massive peen.
Yeah, that's
fine.
a
Okay.
myth.
Bodybuilder.
Whatever.
I can never
Bodybuilder.
date a rich guy. Rich people have too many damn problems.
What if he doesn't have problems?
He's just your dream
What if
guy.
he's like
He's just your dream guy.
Dream
Person,
guy.
Dream guy.
he steps
If
to
he's
you?
my dream guy, he's not gonna tell me you need to drop
Exactly.
that
But
friend.
he's your
Exactly.
dream. Okay, but hold on. He's your dream guy in every single way,
Yeah.
but one.
Yeah.
Then he's
That
not the
says
dream
you
But-
guy.
can't have
He's
that
not
friend.
But no, one's
but
perfect.
right.
Just
So
for this scenario though, just shits and.
If you guys want me to lie and say yeah I drop him, I wouldn't.
No,
I
Right,
No, we're just
exactly.
trying to see
That's
to the
her
full
You-
truth.
you-
You're not
you don't
my
gotta lie.
dream guy.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm not gonna lie.
I'm trying to think of a
And
scenario.
that's the problem
where-
of society is thinking that we need to settle for stupid shit like that.
That's not
instead of
stupid.
instead
Not
of stepping
stupid.
it up and say that's just not my guy. That's not actually my dream guy.
Like, if
my
you-
dream
if you-
guy will come in and he will be totally
He would
fine.
understand.
But if you literally met Corey, you would and you see our dynamic, you would see that it's literally
Doesn't
just a platonic
matter.
friendship.
They'd be-
Doesn't
Let's
matter.
FaceTime him. Let's
That's
ask him. I'm just kidding.
insane.
Did
you
he
want to check
respond?
to see if he's responded?
Oh, you text him?
Oh, he
Yeah,
texted
she
me.
texted him.
Oh,
if-
he answered?
What did he say?
He said, "God no, the fuck off, lesbian. Weird ass. Why would you even ask that?"
I feel like he's watching and he's like, let me make sure. I don't look
no
like a
different than
sim.
if he was your brother.
That's how we
Biologically,
talk
what
to
are you
each
just gonna
other.
drop your brother? It doesn't make any
Yeah.
sense.
Maybe he's watching the show.
I know, like,
Literally, that's how we talk to each other. I call him a bitch all the time. You know, men don't like being called bitch. But
Is he
that's how we
gay?
talk.
Maybe
They
he's
are
probably
they
a
are brother and sister
I'm
by
gonna
water, or
I
whatever
would-
you want to say.
I would not
It's
accept
My
that.
mom
it's
calls
water.
him her white son. Like it's just
What
not. It's a white guy. He's not a big buff black dude with dreads, sexy. It's not like that.
Is he cute?
He's a skinny white boy.
Would that make a
Is he
difference,
single?
Nick? Is if the guy was
his
in,
physique
if you didn't
make a
feel
difference?
any competitive, like you know you can fuck her better, you know you look
What?
better, you know you make better money, you know she likes you better, would you still
Like
feel that same like hell no, you can't hang out with that little twerpy guy
Like
that
this,
you're
like
not
how
even
he looks-
into?
Doesn't matter if he's twerking.
You know
What
what?
if it was?
You know what's
But what if
crazy?
it were
It doesn't
adopted
matter.
brother and sister?
Doesn't matter if you. Okay,
don't
well,
know.
how far do we extend this, right? So, okay, well, you should trust your girl. That you should let her go to a singles club, and all clubs are singles clubs, and let her get drunk and let her dance.
Let her? You own
Yes.
her?
That's
Okay,
what,
so
that's
her
what
fucking
happened.
parent?
It
I don't
happened to me in
So
college.
If I'm
Let
being
her.
honest with you, I
Yeah.
don't go out to clubs anyways. Like, you're gonna
Here-
get to know the woman that I am. I don't go to
Well,
clubs.
I'm
I
not
don't
talking
drink.
about. I'm speaking in generalities here. So,
And let her.
but how
is
far
the
do you
issue.
take? How far do you take your? How far do you take that?
I'm
Like,
a
who are you
grown ass
dealing-
woman.
no, but, like,
Nobody
who are you
owns
dealing
me.
with,
I
though?
don't get permission. They either want to be with me and they're down for it, or they're not. That's not my fucking
And you also
problem.
have
Okay,
to-
so
you-
if
you
I'm
have
in
to
a
vet that
so
woman.
hold on, just to be clear, you're a grown ass woman,
Yeah.
and you're in a monogamous relationship, and at some point in the relationship, you determine, I want to go fuck somebody else, and your boyfriend says, no, I'm not letting you do that.
It wouldn't go that way. I would bring it to my partner and I would say, this is a desire that I have.
Oh, well, that's an instant breakup for any respectable guy.
I'm having this fantasy, just like he could come to me and say, there's this girl at the gym that's super hot.
Yeah.
What do you
That's-
think?
I think
Okay.
confessing temptation
If you
can be
put
healthy,
it
but that's
And-
why you
and
have other people to confess
I understand,
to.
but let me just interject. Sometimes it's just a matter of needing to have the safety to be honest with the person and say,
Yes.
I'm having this desire. Let's talk it through. Why am I having this?
Cool.
Is there
That's
a need
separate,
that's not getting
so
met?
That's a separate
But
conversation.
at the end of the day, if
I
I
agree.
truly wanted to go and sleep with somebody else, this or
Well, the
that, it's
relationships-
never a permission thing. It's
Okay,
a,
but what I'm trying to, you have the agency to go out and do whatever you
Right.
want.
But if
what
I
I'm,
love
hold on,
you-
let me finish. What I'm trying to articulate here is that the relationship is over. Okay, it's not going to be a controlling thing, but I'm letting you know that
Well,
if you
that's
if
fine.
you're
Lol Paladins donated $200. You need to let her
Well
S
put.
another D,
Well put, Lol
otherwise
Paladins.
you're controlling and abusive. Send these 304s back to the streets.
well put, Law Paladin. So, look, I am going to be upfront about my expectations and standards
yeah.
and preferences.
So we
Hold
probably
on.
would end
Let
up
me.
in a
Can you stop
relationship.
interrupting? Stop. So, if a girl is inclined to, for example, go out to nightclubs, hey, if you want to go do that, you have the power to go do it. Our relationship is over. If you want to, obviously, I wouldn't even consider,
Right.
like a girl couldn't even step to me and be like,
Yeah.
I want to be with another dude.
So that's
it's
the thing.
over.
What you need
There
to
is no conversation.
But what you need to understand
You
is
need to learn how to let people finish their sentence.
right. I'm sorry.
Fully finish their sentence, because it's very complicated when there's multiple people talking. Only one person can be heard at a time. Go ahead.
I was just saying that we, like a person like you and I, if we have those differences in philosophies or whatever you want to say, relationship orientation is what I call it, we would never end up in an exclusive relationship with each other. We're just not compatible, and that's fine. I would only be with the compatible men who operate the same
Yeah.
way, right?
That's fine.
in a sense, it works perfectly because they're the same way. We all have the expectation. We have the same understanding, and that's it. If we hit a road where we're not compatible, we just part ways. Easy peasy.
Now, Andrew, I've heard you had interesting conversations that's perhaps somewhat related to the whole friend dynamic here, related to submission. Andrew, I'd like to perhaps hear you have a bit of a back and forth with her when it comes. Do you consider yourself submissive? Like, would you be?
Oh, yeah,
Would you be
100%.
submissive to a man?
100%. I want a man to lead.
Also,
Go ahead, Andrew.
So let me kind of give you my perspective here, and you can tell me what you think. But if you're in a committed relationship, or a woman expects you to be in a committed relationship, wouldn't it be a great sign of respect from somebody who claims that they're submissive to remove from the category any male friends that they may have? As men often say, it's not that I don't trust you, I don't trust them. The truth is both, though, right? The truth is that they're looking for respect from their woman, and they know that, as the old saying goes, right, a shoulder to cry on becomes a... You can finish it, right? A shoulder to cry on becomes a what?
I don't know, but I can imagine.
I have no idea. I've never even heard
Becomes
that.
a D to ride on, right? A shoulder to cry on becomes a D to
I've
ride
never
on.
heard
That's
that.
the old... That's the old
Never
adage,
heard of
right?
that.
Is that and it's true. So if you guys will humor me for just a second, isn't it true that when you're in a vulnerable state, all of you probably on this panel have had male friends who've probably tried to exploit that so that they could have sex with you?
Yes.
Am I wrong?
No.
A male friend, no.
Yes.
Or a male
Repeat the
period.
Well, a male,
Repeat the
yeah.
question?
Yeah, in general, yeah.
Yeah, right. So I mean, So men, especially when we're going through high school, middle school, things like that, we see all sorts of pathetic fuckers who do this type of shit, right? They're like, she just broke up with such and such. Oh, that's terrible, sweetheart. I'm so sorry that happened to you. You know exactly what I'm talking about. All of you know exactly what I'm talking about. So that's kind of my line on this is, don't you think that it's really respectful if you want a committed relationship? If he says, look, I'm the focus then.
Yeah.
If I'm your man, I'm the focus, and that's that.
And he needs to deserve that, right?
Hang on. Let her finish. You've had a lot of speaking time, and no disrespect to you, but let us have this exchange if you don't mind. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I agree with you because I've been in 2 relationships, and in both relationships, they were the main focus. It wasn't Corey. Every time I went to go out and hang out with people, it was literally with my man. I was with my man 24/7. Sure. And for me personally, I'm not sexually attracted to Corey. He's not sexually attracted to me. It has never been like that. We've even had this conversation before. I said, have you ever looked at me like that? He's like, ew, no. I was like, okay, good, thank God. Because that would have been weird for our relationship if he ever told me.
Sure. Well, I mean, we're just going to assume it's all true, or we'll assume he's your gay friend or whatever. Regardless of all of that.
Yeah.
If your man says to you, listen, as a sign of respect to me, I want all men cut out of your life. Okay? I want them out of your life, and I need to be the focus of your life. Isn't that true submission?
No, because, okay, if I'm being honest, okay, I would just say my mother and my dad, they've been together for over 30 years, and her best friend is a man. And I asked my dad, have you ever had a problem with their friendship? And my dad told me no. He said, why would I have a problem with that? I like Julian. Like, there is,
and the thing is that perhaps inside of that dynamic, this was able to work, but the truth is that the chances of fidelity or infidelity significantly decrease if you don't put yourself in a position to commit infidelity, right? So, in other words, if you're a man and you have a job where you're at a strip club or something like this, or you're around tons of promiscuous women, I would say that your chances of infidelity would increase no matter how high your virtue is, because you could just have a moment of weakness, right? You could just fuck up, have a terrible moment of weakness, ruin everything for yourself due to that. And so usually what I see people in successful relationships do is move themselves away from anything that could cause any sort of potential problem for them, because we're only human, right? So if a man were to ask you, like, look, I understand that this guy is an old friend of yours, I get it, right? And I'm not even saying that you would do anything, but as a sign of respect to me, if you truly are submissive and you want me, then it needs to just be me. Doesn't that seem reasonable?
Can you meet all the woman's needs?
No.
I understand what you're saying.
Let us assume for a moment that you can't. Let us assume that you have some failures, that you're not perfect, because nobody is, including you.
Yeah.
Why is it that it's an unreasonable thing to request that if you want to be with me for the rest of your life, I don't ever want to have to worry about you? And you know what? You know how I can always be assured that I never have to worry about you? Because I know that I'm the person you're focusing on.
That
and I
sounds
know
lazy.
that because you show me this huge respect by focusing on no other men but me.
So I don't even have sex at all because I don't like being touched unless I'm in a relationship. So there would be no worry about me stepping out. There's no point in me stepping out for what? What's the reason? So for him to think or assume I could possibly step out with Corey, that's dumb. We would have done something within the last 16 years. Nothing has ever happened.
I'm not even disputing any of this. Like you know you far better than I do.
No, I see exactly what you're saying.
You know you far better than me. I'm not even disputing any of that. What I'm saying is, I think what you're doing is you're internalizing from your perspective what I'm saying. Externalize instead and look at it from the man's perspective. From his perspective, not your perspective. You could be correct about all of this. In fact, he could even be wrong. But part of submission is that even if he could be wrong, you follow him anyway. Because the truth is that when you're submitted, he gets almost everything right. And if he's wrong about a couple things, and that's what it takes for you to be in that kind of relationship, isn't that worth it?
Can I say something?
Hang on, let her finish. Hang on, we're almost done. We're almost done with the exchange.
I can't end a 16-year friendship with someone that has been in my life. I just can't do it. Now, if that's
Sure.
the only flaw that you can find in me, then I think I'm doing a pretty damn good job at being a good woman. If that's the only thing.
And listen, I'm not, again, I don't even need to really
yeah.
dispute that, so that I understand though, but
Yeah.
think of it from the man's perspective.
Yes.
What he's saying is that you're picking him over your man.
No.
That's how I know you don't think so. Externalize
I know,
that.
I'm telling
think
you,
of
I
it
know.
from, think of it from their perspective.
know.
He's going to think that shit.
Okay.
He's going to think, she's not willing to give me the respect that I'm asking for in this committed relationship and put me first. Why would he waste his time with
He
me?
would be put first because he's going to be the one putting babies in me.
Come
He's
on,
gonna be
Yeah, I
put
mean,
first.
but you know, I'm going to explain
he's going to be put
from the
first on her.
assurance standpoint.
Yeah.
The way that he knows that the babies are his is that you're not around other men. that's the
Evolution,
old.
yeah.
So think about it this way: before we had paternity tests, which are new, right? They're new to this century. Before we had paternity tests, the best way to assure that your offspring was yours is that your woman was exclusive to you. That's the only way you could know. So it's kind of built into men that if your woman's around a lot of other men, they could be unsure. And so, that of course that would
So
cause an
that's
insecurity,
so
and
me-
that's probably a good insecurity to cause, right?
So me being in the fitness industry and being around a lot of guys that work out, are you telling me that he's going to say, nope, you can't go to any fitness events?
No, I don't think so. I don't think that if it was in a professional setting that you're working around men or something like this. I think that most men are reasonable when it comes to such a setting. But I think that if you're out hanging out with other men exclusively, doing things with them, maybe you and your friend like to go to movies, or maybe you like to go to his house and hang out, or maybe you like to go do A, B, or C, that I think that it's reasonable for them to see it as a sign of disrespect,
Well, we'd have to have that conversation because I'd be very open about everything. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. And like I said, I don't have sex at all. Me personally, I know there's a lot of other whores out here that will fuck their friends. I'm not like that. I don't have a roster of guys. I'm dating with intent. I want to get married and have children. And if a guy were to tell me, I don't think you can be friends with Corey anymore, then I guess him and I aren't going to work. Because my dad loves Corey, and my mom, everybody. He's
then
a
what
good
you've told
guy.
me is that your highest value is always going to be Corey.
It's not. It's not. Because if it was, we'd be together.
You got to think of it externally from you. From the man's perspective, your highest value is your best friend. So he's always going to feel like he's second rate to your best friend. And why wouldn't he think that?
I can see that, but that wouldn't be the case.
I know that may not be the truth of the matter. But if it's truly submission, then even when he's wrong, right, or you think he's wrong, that is what submission is. Even when you think he's wrong, you still submit. And that's where I think this disconnect happens constantly between men and women when it comes to submission. They don't really know what that means.
I think the pretext too is maybe like this is an actual leader, someone that we can trust, someone that is worthy of being submissive to. I think if he's not, then I mean
that's the opposite of worthy. No, that's the opposite. Listen, let us assume for a moment you chose him because he had all these leadership skills that you just loved, right? And you married him and you have submitted to him. There might be years where he does things you don't like.
Right.
There might be years where you have a rocky relationship. There might be years where you're working through this in marriage, right? And you disagree with most of his choices. But that's what submission is.
Yeah.
That's what submission in marriage is. It's work, right? It's work. And you don't want to abandon that because you think he's making all the wrong decisions. Because the truth is that you could be making the wrong decisions, right? You don't know. That's what submission means.
So, can I say something? Oh.
-_2_100 donated $200. Red 1, where are you from? What is your relationship status? What do you think of Brian? What would you like to share with the audience today?
She answered all
If
that.
you want to give a quick answer to
Hi
that.
guys, my name's Dee. My relationship status is single. I think Brian is really cool, really to himself. I don't really know what's going on in his head, but I try to figure it out, and then I try not to offend, and I try to learn. And what I'd like to put in, I'd like to learn, and I'd like to add in whenever I can. And it's hard when you have a panel of girls all talking at the same time, and that's nobody's fault. And I think it's beautiful that we're having, even with him here, Andrew here. Like I love the
Yeah,
banter,
it's a good vibration, right?
Yeah.
It's 46.4 hertz going on
There
right
we
now.
go. Look at the
all
numbers.
The right vibrations happening. Everybody's happy.
I'm enjoying it, and
Yeah, if you don't mind though, just real quick, so we can wrap this up before we move it on, Madison, if you don't mind.
Go for
Did you ever see that movie Braveheart? Did you ever see that movie? Really? You never saw it?
Too young.
Okay, so
She's
there-
too young. Braveheart came out like 30 years
Awkward
ago.
silence.
Yeah, and so what?
She's
People watch
30.
classic movies. They still
Well,
watch
not
great
everybody
movies, even if it's
does.
before their time.
Not everybody
So in
does.
this movie, essentially a nobleman, in one scene, he ends up having sex with a man's wife on the night of her wedding with him. And he spends the whole rest of the movie seething about it. And this was done without consent, of course. And he spends the rest of the movie seething about it until he gets the opportunity to deal with this nobleman. And when he deals with him, it's very brutal. It's not a good death for the nobleman. Let's put it that way. But if you want that kind of relationship where a man would do that on your behalf, he's not going to want to worry about fucking Corey, right? He's not going to want to worry about Corey. He's not going to want to be thinking about Corey. He's going to want to be thinking only about you and knowing that you're thinking only about him. Okay? That's all I'm saying.
I get you.